Good day, welcome at Gistband TV. The moment a public love confession is made online, it instantly shifts from being a private emotional decision to a shared social event. In this case, the confession didn't just express feelings, it created a narrative that people could follow, analyze, and emotionally invest in. A public declaration carries weight because it places vulnerability on display. It takes courage, but it also invites scrutiny. Viewers are drawn to such moments because they feel raw and unscripted, even when posted online. People imagine the heartbeat behind the words, the risk of rejection, and the bravery it takes to speak openly. That emotional gamble is what hooks an audience. It reminds people of times they wanted to speak up but held back. The confession became relatable, not because everyone knows the individuals involved, but because everyone understands the fear and hope wrapped inside love. Once feelings are declared in public, there's no undo button, and that tension is exactly what keeps people watching, refreshing, and waiting for the next move. Social media plays a powerful role in turning simple moments into viral stories. One post can travel faster than intention, spreading across timelines, group chats, and comment sections within hours. What might have been a personal message instantly became shared content, allowing thousands of strangers to attach opinions, emotions, and predictions. Algorithms thrive on engagement, and stories involving love, courage, and uncertainty are perfect fuel. Each like, share, or comment pushes the story further, creating a loop where attention feeds more attention. People feel part of something bigger, as though watching a real-time series unfold. This kind of virality blurs the line between reality and entertainment. Audiences don't just observe, they participate by speculating, choosing sides, and creating narratives of their own. Social media transforms emotions into episodes, and once that happens, the story takes on a life beyond the people involved. That's why such moments linger longer than expected and continue to dominate conversations. Silence can be louder than words, especially in the digital age. When a response doesn't come immediately, curiosity grows, and imagination fills the gap. Waiting creates tension, and tension keeps people invested. Every passing hour without a reply becomes a topic of discussion. Some interpret silence as rejection, others as careful thinking, while some see it as strategy. This period of anticipation is crucial because it allows the audience to emotionally prepare for whatever comes next. It builds suspense naturally without any extra effort. People begin to project their own experiences onto the situation, remembering times they waited for replies that mattered deeply to them. The absence of an immediate response made the eventual reaction more impactful because expectations had already been built. Silence gives space for emotions to breathe and for the story to mature before moving forward. In storytelling, timing is everything, and waiting often makes the reveal more powerful than an instant reaction ever could. Choosing how and when to respond publicly is a form of control. Instead of reacting impulsively, responding through a live session allowed the message to be delivered with tone, body language, and emotion. This approach humanized the response and removed the coldness that text can sometimes carry. Viewers could see expressions, hear laughter, and feel sincerity. A live response also limits misinterpretation because people witness the message directly rather than through screenshots or paraphrased posts. It shows intentionality and emotional awareness. By addressing the situation calmly and openly, the response shaped how the story would be remembered. It shifted the narrative from speculation to understanding. This kind of response reassures the audience that emotions are being handled thoughtfully, not recklessly. It also demonstrates confidence, as speaking live requires presence and composure. That choice alone added depth to the moment and elevated it beyond typical online interactions. Warmth and boundaries can exist at the same time, and that balance is often misunderstood. Showing appreciation doesn't automatically mean agreement or commitment. Acknowledging someone's feelings with kindness validates their courage without creating false promises. This approach reflects emotional intelligence and self-respect. Many people struggle with setting boundaries because they fear being seen as cold or ungrateful. However, kindness paired with clarity is one of the healthiest ways to communicate. The response showed that it's possible to be gentle without being misleading. It reassured the other party while protecting personal space. This balance resonated with viewers because it modeled a mature way to handle romantic attention, especially in public. It sent a message that emotions deserve respect, but decisions deserve time. That distinction is powerful and often overlooked in fast-moving online culture where everything feels rushed. Patience was a recurring theme, and for good reason. In a world driven by instant gratification, patience feels almost radical. Love that grows slowly allows people to truly see each other without pressure. Rushing often leads to decisions made for excitement rather than understanding. Emphasizing patience reframed love as a journey instead of a destination. It reminded viewers that meaningful connections take time to develop and shouldn't be forced by public expectations. This message stood out because it went against the usual social media narrative of quick labels and instant commitments. It encouraged reflection rather than reaction. Many viewers likely saw wisdom in this approach, recognizing the value of allowing emotions to settle naturally. Patience also protects both people involved, giving room for authenticity instead of performance. It's a reminder that real love doesn't compete with timelines or trends. The contrast between words and actions added depth to the conversation. Words can be beautiful, persuasive, and emotionally stirring, but they are only the beginning. Actions are what sustain connection over time. By highlighting this difference, the response grounded the situation in reality. It shifted focus from the excitement of confession to the responsibility that follows. This perspective resonates because many people have experienced situations where words promised more than actions delivered. Emphasizing actions reinforces the idea that love is shown through consistency, respect, and effort. It challenges the audience to think beyond grand gestures and consider daily behavior. This grounded approach added credibility and maturity to the narrative, making it feel less like a fantasy and more like real life. Audience reactions became part of the story itself. Every smile, pause, or laugh was analyzed, proving how deeply people engage with public moments. This level of scrutiny reflects how invested viewers become when emotions are shared openly. It also shows how easily narratives can be created from small details. While some interpretations may be accurate, others are projections shaped by personal experiences. This overanalysis highlights the double-edged nature of visibility. Attention brings support but also pressure. Watching this unfold reminded viewers of how public figures navigate constant observation. It also subtly encouraged empathy, showing that behind every viral moment is a human being processing emotions in real time. Maintaining independence in the face of public excitement is not easy. When thousands of voices express opinions, it can be tempting to follow the loudest one. Choosing not to rush or conform demonstrated strength and self-awareness. Independence doesn't mean rejection, it means honoring personal values. This aspect of the story resonated strongly because many people struggle to stay true to themselves when expectations surround them. It showed that admiration doesn't require surrendering control. That lesson extends beyond romance and into everyday life. Staying grounded amid noise is a powerful skill, and seeing it modeled publicly gave viewers something meaningful to reflect on. Grace under pressure defined the entire situation. Instead of fueling drama or controversy, the response diffused tension and maintained dignity. Grace doesn't mean avoiding emotion, it means expressing it thoughtfully. Handling attention with calmness set a positive example for online interactions. It showed that not every viral moment needs conflict to stay interesting. Sometimes, respect and maturity are enough to keep people engaged. This approach elevated the story and left a lasting impression. It proved that how something is handled matters just as much as what is said. Rather than closing the chapter, the response opened the door to possibility. Leaving space for growth keeps the story alive without forcing an outcome. It allowed hope to exist without guarantees, which felt honest and refreshing. Viewers were left with curiosity instead of closure, and that sense of what if is what keeps conversations going. Stories that don't rush their endings often stay with people longer. This one became less about an answer and more about a journey, inviting audiences to keep watching, discussing, and imagining what could come next. As this story continues to unfold, it leaves behind powerful lessons about love, patience, courage, and self-respect in the digital age. Now the real question is how you see it. Was the response a quiet opening or simply graceful appreciation? Do you think patience strengthens love, or does it risk missing the moment? Share your honest thoughts, read what others are saying, and let's keep this conversation alive. Sometimes the best stories aren't about answers, but about the different perspectives they inspire, and this one is just getting started.